Right here. I'd like to call the Madison Public Schools Board of Education meeting to order. Please rise from pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You. So item 2, school community session, public participation.
Do we have any members of the public online, so?
One, but no hands raised.
Okay, well, just for the record, say that we do welcome public comment at our meetings. If you do like to speak, if you're online or in person, we ask that you raise your hand, state your name and address, and we limit public comments to 3 minutes. It is not a time for public discussion, but if necessary, the member of the public will be contacted for follow-up. Would anyone like to speak? If so, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Board of Ed student representatives reports, Lucy and Eli, take away.
All right, so today marks the midpoint of the year, which is crazy. It's gone by so fast. I couldn't believe it. I understand trimester 2 is the shortest and we had Christmas break. So it's gone by pretty fast because we've been out of school, but also just because I don't know, it's just gone by really fast. Recently we had freshman orientation. This time the freshmen actually got to come to hand. I remember when I was in 8th grade, we would just have a couple hand students come into our class and they would ask questions and no one would really be listening. And it wasn't a real orientation. So I'm glad that the freshmen coming in this year got a true orientation, a true tour of the building, and actually got to like feel kind of how it is to be a hand student. And right after that night, the parents of the freshmen got to come in for like a parent orientation, talking about kind of the differences between hand and Polson and what to expect.
And additionally, this Thursday evening at 7:30, we have an orchestra concert. And on another student related side, we had a really good game, boys basketball against Guilford. Unfortunately, we lost. Heartbreaker, like 3/4 of the court shot by Guilford, which is destroyed our momentum. So good for them and for us. But really good energy in the student section. I know girls basketball actually has their senior night tonight, probably just started. So good luck to all the teams there. And then wrapping up a really short list tonight, February 1st, we have a half day, which is always appreciated. And parent conferences are going on that afternoon. You guys have any questions?
Yes. Any questions? Lucy, is the orchestra concert tomorrow night or Thursday?
Sorry, it's the 26th, which
So it was originally Wednesday and they moved it to Thursday. There was a lot of conflicts with,
Gotcha.
I think a lot of sporting events.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Any other questions?
Do you have a question, Dr.?
Oh, we were wondering.
The apostrophe goes after the second.
Note calculator wise.
Oh. Well, we just had the one day on December 23rd, so only one day so far. So which brings the end of the year to Tuesday. We have graduation planned for that Friday. So we'll continue to watch. I mean, I've thought often this month, if it was cold enough, we would have been out of school twice a week, 3 times a week. You know, it would have been a lot of interruptions. So we still could have that for another.
You know, that's one, maybe that's Tuesday, tomorrow's Thursday.
Good deed.
Snow's coming tomorrow. And sign up.
We'll have to see what folks are talking.
Yeah, tomorrow's supposed to be a pajamas and sign out.
It's spoon that pillow too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Glass of water on the front porch.
Oh, okay.
That's another.
We're almost missing.
Technically, we don't set the last day until April, right? So, we're able to now, the new state law allows us to set the graduation date, but the last day we typically announce the April for all students.
All right. So if you're not good, we'll stretch it out. Okay. Thank you very much, and please feel free to go home and get some work done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 4, superintendent's report, Dr. Cook.
Very brief report. We usually reserve this meeting for budget work if we need that time, and with the budget being approved last week. I just have 2 brief items to update the board on. We included in the packet, and this will be online, a budget summary. This is what we use when we go and meet with PTOs. And when we talk to the public, we put this out. There's just a quick, 1-pager front and back to share about highlights of the budget, what's new, what are some of the things that might have decreased or challenges we faced in that process. And of course, this is all just part of something that's an intro, but we have the whole budget online as well. Citizens access that and then ask us questions, and we answer them throughout the process. So thank you to the board for completing that, and we will have a budget filed with the town shortly, and engage with the board of selectmen and the board of finance in their process as well. The second item was just wanted to share with the board in case that was missed or they have any questions or follow-up on CABE's priorities. Each year CABE sets a number of priorities, and we want to share that we concur in terms of from the administration's perspective that these are good priorities to address, and certainly support that. We've been engaged in the legislative process. Thank you to Galen and Stephen for attending a CABE event in Deep River that was held recently, and I attended one as well for superintendent. So we've getting our word out there, and then also I know we have an offer. We had planned this last year and we got snowed out or something happened, but CABE has offered to come to a meeting, or our 2 local state reps and state legislators have offered to come before the board, and so I'll meeting with the executive committee tomorrow, and I'll bring that up with them. If any board member would like that to happen, just let one of us know. We'll try and schedule that.
One thing of note, I believe there's legislation this year, a bill to try to reconfigure the reimbursement rates for new school building. And so I think the plan is to try to either match it in certain ways to the reimbursement rate for renovation as new, which is a higher reimbursement rate than new school construction. So we'll keep our eyes on that, and we'll certainly advocate for anything we can do to increase the reimbursement rate for Madison, given our school renewal projects that are ongoing. So
Yeah, absolutely. That is something we're certainly in support of, and I think ours is a unique situation because we feel we can make the case that our project, although it is billed as new, was less expensive than to renovate as new projects, especially given the layout and the need we would most likely have had to expand at Ryerson, which would be a difficult expansion. And Jeffrey with portables, so you'd be taking on portables and adding to that building. So we feel we can certainly make that case. And then as Seth said, if our reimbursement rate went up to the renovate as new, which is 28%, you're talking about another $8 or $9 million coming into the town of Madison as a reimbursement for the school budget. So that would be quite a big change. So I think that.
any other questions for the superintendent on the legislation? No? Okay, board member comments, anyone? Yes, go ahead.
I just would like to say congratulations to the women's fencing. On January 14th, there was a JV tournament where they fenced individually and not as a team. And the women's FA placed 4th, 5th, and 9th. The women's foil placed 2nd and 3rd. The women's saber placed 1st and 4th. I got it. I just like to say congratulations, they worked very hard, and it was, there were a lot of fencers there, and they did a good job. And I don't remember how the men placed. Awesome.
I also used to give updates during board member comments on Vibe when my daughter was involved
Yeah,
in
I can
Vibe.
give it up there.
And yeah, and
Yes,
they just did really well.
They won, so they won
Grand champion.
everything.
Yeah.
Won first place for voices, for dancing, for the set, for the band, for the theme. I mean, they just, we only saw 3 before it was up in Lowell, Massachusetts. We only saw 3 before them. But they were just blown, they blow you away.
And that was the same day, there were some fencers who went straight from competition.
Absolutely, straight over to
To
their
Massachusetts to.
It's a 2-hour drive.
Yeah.
So I saw the first time they hand, and they were great, and then they were just that much better a week later, so I can't imagine, they were just great. It's just so fun to watch. So if you guys get a chance,
I miss it.
they have, right, they have a at home, in February 4th, I want to say.
You can follow them on Facebook.
Yeah, I do.
You can't see the video.
So, yeah, I know. Exactly.
Sometimes the videos are posted.
Well, I posted it in there. I take it off. I was,
Yeah, you're not
I didn't
supposed
know that.
to. All right, well, thank you.
And also the freshman
Yeah.
football, the Guilford Madison, that was amazing.
Basketball,
The
yes, yeah.
basketball, that was so great, it's great. We saw that.
A great story that was picked up by several news outlets.
Right.
The family's been very appreciative of it.
Did you guys see it?
Yes.
A lot of good things, kids do great things.
Stephen.
Jill and I attended the legislative breakfast and. I think it's a note, the other members of the board that other communities. In this area expressed. Some considerable concern about the K-3 reading initiative. Coming out of the state from. A variety of points that, we have discussed ourselves, but. We are not alone in that concern.
That is a major concern, and just actually by way of update during board member comments, I should have also mentioned. Big thanks to Gail and the whole administration and all of the team that was involved in putting it together, but Stephen and I, as chair of the curriculum and student development committee, and me as chair of the board, we got to sign the waiver letter that we just submitted this week to try and get a waiver from the K through 3 reading program requirement that otherwise would require us to select one of a handful of commercially available reading programs, and we've been working very hard as a district to show how we have scientifically backed methods that have been very successful in establishing a strong reading program at that level. So we hope that if it is a meaningful waiver in the statute, and if the State Department of Education reads it meaningfully, I would think that we would get some strong consideration for a waiver so that we can continue to do reading the way we do it in the district and not have to spend a couple $100,000 a year buying commercially available products that we feel that our existing program is superior to. So I just wanted to keep you guys updated in a way that also encapsulated it for the public maybe watching. And we will keep you posted as to when and if we hear back. These things tend to take months upon months to hear back from the state, so.
Do they have like a proposed date that they might get?
Yeah, and it's supposed to be by like May or something, right? Because we have to prepare for the next school year.
So they're due by the end of February. We will be one of the first ones in from my my understanding. You know, when I attended events, a lot of people have asked, you know, what our status is, and I know not many are ready to push send this month, certainly, or even early February. So I think we'll be on the early end. We're hoping for an early review and then even an early consult if there's something they see as a concern or missing or something that we maybe could address or point them to for more information. We'd like to be able to do that and achieve that waiver. I think really good position. Gail's phone is ringing off the hook, you know, from other towns to find out, you know, how we've done the process. I've shared it publicly. She's shared it publicly with colleagues, and her and her team just really done an amazing job. Work, and so as Seth said, we're really thankful for that, because it's a good thing for Madison students, you know, that's the ultimate, and for Madison teachers. You know, I think that as I looked at the programs, I think our teachers would be incredibly bored and underserved and you know, not as rewarded when they are flipping through a manual at the same pace as all the students. We, you know, I just don't think that that's right for us. So thank you, Kelly.
Yeah. But they've given us a deadline to submit, but they haven't actually
They
said
have
when
not,
they're gonna get back.
unless you've heard something more recently, Gail. I haven't seen anything. You would think that May or earlier would be a time
I mean,
frame.
you would think they would have sort of a schedule, like if you have to get in by this day, then we will get back to you by this day. You would.
If they
But that doesn't make sense.
Are there
more districts in favor of the,
Logic.
so the waiver, you know, it's not having a program?
I think
Or is it?
what I'm hearing, and I went to learn and I talked to a lot of districts. Many districts are don't have as much documentation and as many thoroughly developed documents for their curriculum as we do here. So they're struggling a bit with the body of evidence that you have to present. So the body of evidence that we're presenting is to answer just the questions and to give the data is over 60 pages of linked evidence. And then to include our curriculum, it's going to be over 500 pages. So it's a lot of work that you have to have been doing all along in order to really make a compelling case. But I do know that many districts are interested in trying for the waiver, but they may not be as big or as well resourced. So they're definitely keeping an eye on us, and you know, we both promised to our colleagues that we would share freely when we hear anything. If we have good results, then of course we're happy to share what we've done here now. So it's been our philosophy.
Fingers,
Yeah.
toes.
Pioneers.
Any other board member comments? Okay, thank you. Any audience response to information presented? Do we have anything online raising their hand?
No, we do not.
Thank you. Board of Selectmen liaison, Scott indicated that he would be unable to make it this evening due to meetings conflict. So we will not be able to get an update from Scott. Board and committee and liaison updates, curriculum and student development, Stephen.
We have not met since the last meeting, so no report.
Thank you. Facilities committee.
We've not met since our last meeting. We meet next on February 7th.
Thank you. Finance committee.
Same here, we have not met, we passed a budget last week, yay. And I think that budget is submitted to the Board of Selectmen and Board of Finance on February 1st. It's the next meeting, you know, as a presentation on the 15th, right.
Thank you very much and congratulations again on your committee.
That's a single-handed putting together.
And congratulations to the superintendent for sure. Personnel committee, I know you do have something.
Yes.
for today, Maureen.
We met last week, last Wednesday, and we have a tentative agreement with the new nurses unit. And we're expecting the union to ratify on February 15th and then bring it to the Board of Ed on March 7th.
Great.
That's good news.
It was a good agreement.
Yeah.
We worked quite a while to get to. Policy committee. Diane?
We met tonight. We discussed a whole lot of policies, we have a lot of work to do, a lot of them are going back for review. Some you will see the next board meeting. Some you will not. As for tonight, we have some 6 policy. As action items, second read and action items tonight. And you should find your policy notes with your packet. Policy 2240, retention of electronic records and information. The changes were made to reflect changes regarding Form RC 075 and to reflect current composition of district computer networks and electronic messaging systems. Policy number 4119. Oh, policy 2240 was a first read January 10th of this year. Policy 4119 was a first read same day, January 10th. This is the second read and action item tonight. This policy was revised to follow Public Act number 2287, which makes changes to the distribution requirements for the Board of Ed's written policy for mandatory reporting by school employees of suspected child abuse or neglect. Policy 5120.3, health assessment screenings and oral health assessment. Policy was revised to conform with Public Act number 21-95 with regarding implementation of vision screenings, and also Public Act number 21-121 regarding reporting requirements for children with diagnosis of asthma. Then there is policy 7551. Naming and renaming of schools. Revisions to this policy were made in August. The first read was December 13th. We made revisions to make it a little less prohibitive to name schools or parts of schools. And so this is a second read tonight. Policy 9220.2, board member oath of office. This is a second read. First read was December 13th. The revisions were made to reflect the state law. Policy 9325.43, attendance at meetings via electronic communication. This was updated for current legal requirements. Anybody has any questions regarding the policies that are action items tonight, I would be happy to do my best. And we'll report.
Any other questions for Diane? Okay, thank you. Thanks, Diane. Learn liaison, Mary Ann.
Yes, I went via Zoom last Thursday. Basically, it was a budget meeting about all their. And we didn't vote on it, so it just preliminary. Went through all the different. How the difference between Learn and our district, state, their state funded. And so it's very interesting. There's just so much to learn about Learn, so I'm just learning. Our next meeting will be the second Thursday in February.
Are you conjugating the verb to learn? Thank you. Any questions for Mary Ann?
And if you have any questions, you know. Finance.
Thank you. All right, while you're still up there, Mary Ann, the Town Marijuana Advisory.
Thursday night. We have a meeting.
Oh, actual meeting.
Well, so.
Yeah,
I'll let you know next.
thank you. And you know, it'll be interesting, by the way, to see if there is any response to the fact that like legal
Well, I can show you this. I have received,
legalization last Tuesday.
right, I have received through Bruce Wilson, he has sent out 4 letters. From people after the article was written in the source, people finally started to send some information. And so it goes both ways, like 2 letters for something being done here in Madison, and 2 letters were for not. So.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose as a school district, there are sensitivities that we have to be concerned that, you know, the legal use does not blow back to high school and
Absolutely.
even middle school.
Absolutely, we also have to consider the size of our town, it's just the other towns around us who already have things going. We'll see if the.
Yeah. Thank you.
You guys have anything you want me to bring up or say?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're done with our committee and liaison reports. Moving on to our first action item. Yes, sorry.
There's just that one error in the action item, so when we make the motion. The policy number 9220 should be 9220.2 oath of office.
Okay, I have it that way on this final version. Okay, so noted. Thank you. All right, right here it is, okay. So, as an action item, I need a motion to approve the following policies coming out of policy committee. Number 2240, retention of electronic records and information. Number 4119, reports of suspected abuse or neglect of children or reports of sexual assault of students by school employees. Number 5120.3, health assessments / screenings and oral health assessment. Number 7551, naming / renaming of school buildings, components of buildings and or school grounds. 9220.2, oath of office. And 9325.43, attendance at meetings via electronic communications. Do I first have a motion?
So
By Diane,
Second.
second by Maureen. To approve the policies I just mentioned. Do we have any further discussion? And these are the ones that she reported on during her report a few moments ago. Any questions, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Any abstentions? No, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have 8 today, okay. So motion carries 8 to nothing, so. let's see. Missing. Check. Oh, that's right, there's only 8 of us right there. That's why I'm not missing a name here. Okay,
So the next action item.
yes, thank you.
We'll find out why.
Yeah. Action item 10, with some consternation, I would like to entertain a motion to accept the resignation of board member Jennifer Gordon. Who you may have heard is going to be, or was appointed, I guess last night. To the Board of Selectmen to fill Noreen Kukaruta's seat. And that leaves a seat vacated on our board. So I need a motion to accept the resignation of board member Jennifer Gordon. So moved by Mary Ann and seconded by.
Diane's about, I'll second
No.
it.
Seconded by Emily. All right, any discussion? I would like to start off discussion by saying that we are gonna miss Jen as a Board of Ed member. She was awesome. She did her homework, she came prepared. She was very devoted to the nonpartisan / bipartisan mission of this board. And was, an integral part of a board that I feel has gotten along well and advanced the ball on a lot of things. Because we haven't, because we've been able to get along well personality wise and as colleagues. So you will be missed, and we'll bug you on the Board of Selectmen. Support our budgets. Thank
Best
you.
of luck, Jen.
Yeah, I'd like to second that. She's made great contributions.
So us. Gonna win for the Board of Selectmen.
And for the town.
Yeah.
And with that, I'd just like to say that I'm gonna miss her not only on the board, but on policy as well. She was insightful, always respectful, always came prepared, just such a good board member, and she has big shoes to fill, but I know she'll do very well, and we'll miss her.
I'm also grateful for all of Jen's contributions, and it's wonderful and a pleasure to work with Jen, and the Board of Selectmen is very lucky.
Thank you. Stole her.
Yeah. Plucked her from our midst. All right, well, thank you very much. Again, Jen, and thank you, everybody, for your lovely comments. I'm going to call the motion now. Motion to accept the resignation of board member Jennifer Gordon, which is retroactively effective to the 18th of January 2023. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Any abstentions? All right, seeing none. The motion carries 8-0 along with well wishes and good luck.
He can't play a post.
But I should say the real reason why we actually vote on a board member's resignation is for this next announcement. It's for the purpose of notifying the public of the vacancy of the seat. Under the town charter, the Republican Town Committee will be making, because she was a Republican member of the board, the Republican Town Committee will be putting forth a nominee that will be elected or ratified by the Board of Selectmen. Hopefully we'll have a new member soon. So. Okay. Action item number 11, motion to approve the minutes of the January 10th, 2023 Board of Education meeting. There's a motion. Okay, Diane. Any second? I'll second. Elin, thank you. Any discussion on or corrections of the minutes from January 10th? Seeing none, all in favor of passing the minutes for January 10th, 2023 Board of Ed meeting, aye. All opposed, nay. Any abstentions? Seeing none, it's 8-0, motion carries, thank you. Action item 12, to approve the minutes of the January 17th, 2023 Board of Education Budget Workshop meeting. Do I have a motion for that?
So moved.
That's happy. Second. Steve. Any discussion on that? Any corrections? Seeing none, all in favor of approving those minutes, say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Any abstentions? Seeing none, motion carries 8-0. Thank you. Now for the hard one, I need a motion to adjourn. Oh, no, wait, before that, sorry. I skipped over to my cheat sheet and not to my full agenda. I would like to call for any future agenda items. Mary Ann, surprise. No, I'm kidding.
I would
Go ahead.
like to propose a future agenda item for a safety committee right here to be brought to the Board of Education so we can put it out there. And not only safety within our schools, but have the safety, our town safety committee too. And have them both come together and just do a presentation so that we can see what's going on, so that we're all in the loop. We should have that information. That's important.
I will just comment on that briefly, that while I'm all in favor of that, I think it's a cool idea to have a general meeting and remind people that there's a lot being done in terms of safety and security.
But it's also the protocol. We also need to know what exactly is being, what the steps are. Because God forbid something happens. And
No, you're talking about like a response, like what the
I'm talking about a
response.
response, safety response.
Okay, because like, for example, certain security items, we
Yeah.
can't really discuss.
No, I mean, we need to, as a board,
Yeah.
we should have that information. And the town needs to have the information, and the parents need to have that information so that they're not left in the dark, God forbid something happens. And there also needs to be, I don't know how it's done here, or how they would do it, but a contingency plans need to be in place, and it's something that we need, I think, to not bury under the rug, because we never know.
I think we actually do have plans and things in place for the committee. So the goal would be to just,
Yeah, just to coordinate it all and have everyone be
Yeah.
on the same page.
That's great. Thank you then.
Town and school.
Did you have a?
I was just gonna say, I don't think, I'm. We've been pretty transparent about our safety plan and everything like that, so I don't wanna make it
Well,
sound like it's figured under a rug.
what do you mean, how
I don't know.
is a parent not safe?
In the past, we've had information about.
Well, so maybe I, as a new member, I don't.
Yeah, no, I
I
just
have no
wanted to
access.
clarify
I don't know.
that that would be great.
And the only reason I say this is because as a school nurse, I found that in a couple of districts that I worked in, there was nothing, wasn't cohesive. It was like, this school did this, that school did this, and this school did this, and the town did this. And it was nothing all together. And when something bad happens, it affects everyone in all the schools and all the difference and how parents are notified. I mean, just all that, I don't know that. And when I went to Cape and we did the presentation, I went to one of the presentations on safety. They had these great guys were telling us that the Board of Education should actually have that access to what is exactly going on, so that if somebody contacts us or whatever,
So you want a protocol present?
a protocol, yeah, a protocol present.
I was in that same presentation and I agree with you. And I don't think anything's been swept under the rug. I know.
No, I'm just.
I know, just that one phrase I think is,
I mean, that's not swept under the rug, I mean, and we don't wanna think about.
yes, no, I understand.
Exactly, yeah.
I think that the steps are in place, but we as new board members could be better.
Maybe
informed.
maybe it's our.
And one of the things they talked about in that presentation too, is that there are things that are highly confidential that are in place that we don't know about.
Yeah.
But they had recommended that maybe we can go into executive session and better educate ourselves on some of those
But
things. So I
yeah,
think that's what it
I
is.
think the best way to present it that would be acceptable publicly, and I think it's a very good idea, Mary Ann, is to have a protocols but not methods discussion. And, I mean, we can maybe discuss broad methods, but not
Well, I know,
specific.
But there's a lot of different safety protocols in
Yeah.
place. I mean, we have policy on that and it's state statute, you have to have certain protocols.
but if
But you're saying like a more
if people
general
don't-
one,
if
like
people don't know
parents.
they are.
Like if this happens at the school, expect a phone call, expect
if
this,
that happens.
sort of a more generalized.
Right, and if that plan fails, what's your next step? What are we gonna do after that? That's just to know what's going on. For everybody, I mean,
Yeah,
That's gonna take.
like a
some time.
30,000 foot, like we can say to people, we've redesigned the front entrances to Brown and Polson recently.
but
Over
you know
the
what,
summer.
Seth, you're talking about
Make it
like
more safe.
logistics, I'm talking more about if something were to happen. Who does this first, who does this second, who like chain of command, I mean, just stuff like that.
Okay, so that would be more in our school safety plans we submit to the state each year.
Yeah.
We could do, there's pieces that we could do in a presentation in public and then executive session. And so we have previously with the board shared an executive session, like our goals like this shared with the front entrances of schools and things like that, student notifications, thing.
Yeah,
So there could be a piece in public and a piece in executive
so
session.
and the public would feel better about it.
I think it's an excellent idea.
Yeah, I like it.
It just has to be well.
Yeah, well, yeah, not confusing, hopefully it isn't, so that's good.
All right, well, thank you. Glad we finally got to use the future agenda. It's on my bingo card. Yes.
But maybe just an update from the superintendent. About 2 years ago, we talked about student handbooks across the different schools, and each school was going to be updating their particular student handbook. Because as we revise our policies, including we did dress code, we found that the different handbooks were very different. And so we want to make sure the handbooks are not only in compliance with our own policies, but that they are sort of, yes, uniform with each other. Because there seem to be a lot of discrepancies. And so I know that at the time, most of the board was not here, that's here now, but 3 of us were, 4 of us. But I'm just looking for an update on where we are with that.
So we have a code of conduct presentation plan because of all the changes with policy.
Okay,
So that will be coming up. That's a big piece of what the student handbooks are
Great.
based on.
okay, so maybe just kind of
Yeah, we can,
combine that.
Cool,
Thank you.
thank you. All right, now, I must ask, ever difficult to elicit motion to adjourn. Somewhere. Galen and second. Second by Maureen. All in favor of adjournment, aye,
Aye.
opposed, nay. 17 abstentions, not kidding. All right, Kate, nothing. Congratulations.